Welcome back to the Snow Family Racing Garage. The snow is starting to fly outside. No, not me. My arms get too tired. Anyway, so with snow starting to fly across the country, now's the time to start really thinking about winterizing your vehicles. What do you need to do to get these things ready to sit here all winter long and be easy to bring back in the spring and perfectly safe? There's a couple of things. Let's talk about it. First thing on the list, the battery. That's one of those expensive things that I personally hate buying new batteries, but that's just me. So one of the things you can do is just disconnect your battery. But, sometimes that takes tools and, as awkward as a half-inch wrench can be to have in your hand, even though we know you have one anyways, what about a battery cutoff? Something that you can easily just, cinch down, turn into place, start the car throughout the winter, give it a good run, in the garage, back it out in the driveway on those nice sunny days, do things to keep it healthy. Battery cutoff switch is one of those things that we can do that's easy and quick. The next thing you can do that's part of the electrical system is put one of those nice battery tenders on it that keeps the charge up all winter long. And that's easy to do with one of these too. You just clamp it on this end as opposed to this end where the power's cut off to the car. You don't have a slow drain. Let's get this guy installed. Step one, we're going to disconnect the negative cable. Done. Step two, we're going to remove this guy from the packaging. Now, if you've ever seen how this guy works, you basically have a nylon strip and this thing just tightens down between them. And you just loosen it up, remove the contact so it's no longer contacting. There's an air gap in there, and now your battery is effectively disconnected. Quick and easy, no tools required. If you're a drag racer, you've got the NHRA-approved kill switch on the car already, which is really sweet. But let's just get this guy on. And I promise, as close as this looks, it does clear the power steering pulley. So, to turn the battery back on, just tighten it down. Battery's all tight. That's tight there. That's tight there. All systems are go. Now, when you want to turn the battery off, just disconnect everything. Done. And just so there's no confusion, this little guy is rated for a max of 125 amps continuous or 500 amps surge. That's a lot more than this Classic is ever going to pull, considering that alternator is good for maybe 63 amps on a good day. So, next up, the battery tender. I'll drop a link in the description to a good one, and you can get 10% off if you use my code to get one of these little guys. I've got them kicking around the shop. Unfortunately, all mine are out on tractors in the barn, keeping them, ready for snow removal. But I'll have one somewhere around here and a link in the description. You go get yours. So next up on the list is the antifreeze, which is much more important if the car has to winter outside. But still, it's a good idea to verify that you have enough freezing protection if you have a detached shop that gets cold during the winter. This is one of those things that can save you from finding, major problems. Easy to use. You just kind of fill the bulb up with antifreeze. Sometimes it takes a squeeze or two for you to get everything in there. You can pull it out and verify that it's going to freeze down at negative 37, which is roughly where the pointer is pointing at. So that means it's going to be plenty good for as cold as it ever gets here. We see, northern Utah down to about 0 occasionally in the nighttime, but never really that cold. So next on the fluids journey is your oil. You might want to consider changing your oil before you winterize it, especially if you're seeing signs of gas fouling like we are here. Always, always, always have fresh oil so that way there's no contaminants in your oil that'll hurt the vital engine parts. So I know what I'm going to be doing later today. The last thing on the quick hitter list to make sure your car is ready for winter is the gas tank. Gas tank's behind the license plate. Don't you love classic cars? Anyways, I'm a big fan of ethanol-free gasoline, and you can always add some stable into the tank, especially if it's going to be sitting for any length of time. That helps keep things more stable. That's why it's called stable. But keep in mind, guys, if you're running ethanol fuels, that could potentially give you some issues come springtime because that stuff doesn't like to sit around very long. It has a typical shelf life of, I've heard, anywhere from 30 to 90 days. Your mileage may vary, but you know, it never hurts to have some fresh gas, especially ethanol-free, in cars like this 65 that have a lot of rubber components in the fuel system. That keeps your lines happy, your pump happy, your carburetor happy. And then don't forget to run the car for a few minutes after you get the fuel stabilized the way you want it, so that way all the components up the line are safe, so that way you can start this thing up in the spring real easy. So those are my 3 things that I take care of right off the bat. Make sure the battery's happy. Make sure you check your fluids, your oil, change it if you need to. Your antifreeze, make sure it's up to temperature so that way you don't wind up with a cracked block, because that will kind of stop it from running much at that point. And then lastly, make sure the gasoline is prepared. Now, if you'll excuse me, I got another car to go take care of this for this winter slumber.